Hi, I'm Megan. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and it's Friday, so I'm back for another episode of Friday Sews. Today I'll be sharing a couple recent projects, talking a little bit about my makes for the next couple weeks, and filling you in on what I've been up to. I have two projects to show you, and I am a little bit late in sharing them with you. I tested two patterns this spring, and I just didn't get a chance to sit down and film a video to share them with you when they were released, but I thought I would make a video and share them with you anyway. The first one is what I am wearing, this turquoise cardigan, and this is called the Reconnect Longline cardigan from Pattern Emporium. It is a duster or long length cardigan. It comes with a couple different sleeve options, and it has a band front and a hemmed bottom. It has pocket options, and one of the sleeve options is that really trendy bishop or balloon sleeve that's popular. And something else that it has the option for is a couple buttons on the front, sort of at the bust line to buttons or snaps. I really like this cardigan. I really like it because it has, instead of a straight up and down cut like lots of the longer cardigans that I have made. So I'm a big fan of the Sinclair Harper cardigan, which is a free pattern. It's very similar to the Helen's Closet. Oh my goodness, now I'm gonna forget the name of the cardigan. Right, there's a Helen's Closet pattern that's very similar. It's a straight cut, long line cardigan. Lots of pattern companies have them, depending on what your favorite pattern company is. But this one from Pattern Emporium isn't straight up and down. It has a flared line to it. So it's kind of an A-line, flare out sort of from the waist to the hips and down. And if you've made the Wanderlust or the Spellbound dresses from Pattern Emporium, this has a similar sort of shape to it. Maybe less flare at the bottom, but it is beautiful. I'm much fuller in the hips than I am in my upper body, so not having that straight cut, like it skims over my bottom half, and I'm really thrilled with it. I made my tester version, and I don't have any photos that I can show you, and I also quickly recycled that project, but I made it out of this plaid Liverpool, and it was sending me some really serious like Christmas house coat vibes, but it was just a tester. But I loved the way that it looked in that plaid, so I might be on the lookout for a plaid or tartan French terry for something that I can just wear at home, or you know, as a festive Christmas time garment 6 months from now. God, I can't believe I'm talking about Christmas. It's just summertime. Anyway, so I made that one out of Liverpool, and it just has such a nice hang and drape to it. This one that I made is from the fabric is from a Calgary fabric supplier called FitsSewWell, and the woman that owns it is named Janice Aston. And I met Janice at a sewing show in 2019. We had a brief chat. I bought some fabric from her at the time. She does polymer pletch fitting classes out of her home here in Calgary, and I'd love to take one sometime. I'm not in a place right now where I can commit to like a multiple day workshop, especially on the weekends. Just with work and my family, of course I can't make it work, but I'd love to do it sometime. Anyway, Janice also sells like a small curated selection of fabrics on her online store. And what's really interesting is that she does color analysis too, and she has indicated the seasons that she thinks each fabric would be best for. Color analysis is super trendy in the sewing community again, and I have had my colors done, and I'm a calm summer. I used the Color Guru service a year ago. That was my birthday present to myself. And so I was, you know, able to look at all of the colors, and this one was listed for spring and summer. This is a Modal rayon blend, and it is so soft, and it was so tricky to sew. Janice had even included a note on the invoice about how difficult this fabric could be to cut out, that it shifts around a lot, and just to take your time when cutting, cut in a single layer. And it is so soft, and it has the most beautiful sheen to it. It's hard to see on the camera because it's very subtle, but it's almost like it's got a little bit of a silvery white or pearlescent metallic, just slightly woven in or spun in with the fibers. It's so soft. I've washed it. It hasn't pilled. It's beautiful. It's really springy. Like the fabric is super springy. And so getting all of my bands to lie flat, top stitching it would have been a nightmare. And just pressing it all out, I also didn't want to scorch it. So a bit of a tricky fabric, but it's beautiful. And so I think I might order some more of this and make a really simple top, like a boat neck very, very simple sweater. I think it would be beautiful in that, or even like a turtleneck with the rolled over, it would hide sort of your seam line. I think would be very, very cute. Just take your time. Make sure you check, your differential feed. I made mine on my serger, so I had to adjust all the settings and make sure I got it the way I wanted, but it is a beautiful fabric. Love the color, and I love the way that it looks. So if I made it again, this pattern, the Reconnect Longline cardigan, I would put the snaps in. I thought I don't really want snaps, but I find myself wanting to keep it closed because it's got such a flowy bottom. It kind of pulls the weight of the fabric, pulls it open, and I would like it to sit more closed over my chest. So yeah, so I would put the snaps in. I think I would use like a really subtle snap, or I don't know that I would do buttonholes on this fabric, but I could probably retrofit some snaps in there if I really wanted to. So we'll see if I do that later. But yeah, the Reconnect Longline cardigan from Pattern Emporium. If it's cooler where you are, or you're heading into the fall seasons, or it's winter where you are, or you work in an air-conditioned place, I think it's a good one to check out, especially if you like the look of that Longline duster, but you want it to skim and have more of a wider bottom half of the sweater. The other pattern I tested was from Itch to Stitch, and it's the Lamont top. I made mine out of white cotton eyelet that I got at Fabricland. It's so what it is it's a puff sleeve dolman top. The construction's really interesting. So the whole sleeve part of the top is one piece front and back. So you've got bodice front, bodice back, and then one giant sleeve piece for each side. So there's only 4 pieces of this pattern, and then binding. It's bound on the neck and the sleeves, and then you hem it. But because of the way the top is constructed, the sleeve patterns are cut, you can kind of play with stripes in an interesting way. And of course it's white, so it's hard to see. It's really subtle on mine, but I've seen some of the other testers had more graphic, like use stripes on purpose to show off the lines of the blouse in a very interesting way. So this one, it photographs really well. Like, it's always interesting when I make projects. So I'll post a photo and it photographs really well. It looks beautiful on, but I'm not sure I will wear this top in real life. So the big sleeve is so trendy and it is cute, and the eyelet manages to not be totally sheer. So I could wear it out, and maybe I will when it's a little bit hotter and I'm going out, like out for dinner or for drinks or something, or to a barbecue. But it just feels, because it's a dolman, there's a lot of fabric in here. So the big puffy sleeve and the nature of the way that the sleeve is cut, there's just a lot of extra fabric around this part of my body, and I'm not totally wild about it. And I've talked about that before, that a dolman cut top or blouse isn't necessarily my favorite thing. However, it was a really interesting project to sew. So if you're gonna make this one, what I will tell you is you need to pay really careful attention to the instructions about how to select your size. So instead of grading between sizes, you're gonna make a pattern adjustment on the hemline. So if your hem measurement for your hip is, and it's your high hip because it's cropped, is wider than your bust, you're gonna need to actually cut that pattern and spread the pattern piece out instead of grading between sizes. Candace does a pretty good job of explaining that in the instructions, but one thing I will tell you that you really, really need to keep in mind to avoid like a wing is there's not a lot of space between the underarm of the blouse and the hemline of the blouse. Like you're working with, maybe 6 inches between that waist point and the hemline, and you need to make sure that your pattern piece is ending, that you're not tapering your line out to a diagonal, so you've got a 45-degree angle between your hem and your side seam, because then you're going to get little wings. You need it to come in as close to a 90-degree angle at the bottom hem as possible, which is tricky. So I think that just be mindful and make a test garment if you're wild on this style and you want to give it a try. It's a great pattern, it's great design, and the fit is really good, but make yourself a test to make sure you're happy with how you've changed your size, if your hips are larger or smaller than your bust. One of the other projects I've been working on is I'm working on another pattern test, so I should have another couple projects to show you at the end of the month, maybe early July. They're very summery patterns. So the next project that I'm working on is a dress. And so I am making a dress to wear to my father's memorial service that we're having at the end of the month. We are having a more casual family service. It's quite small. So my dad was a teacher, but his passion in life after he retired was music. So he was a musician and he performed and he loved going to a jam session. So we are having a jam session at a pub and at the golf course, which was his other passion in life. And I have two fabrics to pick from. So the first one is a rayon, and it's got these hearts. It's black with white heart print. And the second is a cotton poplin. So this I got from Rick Rack Textiles, and this one I got from Fabricland, and it's a cotton poplin with these like bright, bold flowers on it. So I want to make something that I will wear again. So I'm going to make it for this memorial, but I want to wear it again in the summer. I want it to be something that's fun. I want to honor my dad, not mourn his loss, but honor the life that he lived, and he loved to party and he enjoyed having fun. So I want to make something that's fun with either one of these fabrics. And I just can't decide what I'm going to do. So my options is to use this cotton poplin and make the Helen's Closet Gilbert top, but then hack it to have a gathered skirt added onto it, like they have on their blog. So that's one option. I think that'd be really cute and really casual, but you know, with nice sandals and nice jewelry, it'd be appropriate. Another option is the Isla dress from Jennifer Lauren Handmade. So this is a wrap dress that wraps in the back, and it's got buttons along the back. It's got a vintage feel to it. I think, like, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with all of these patterns, so I want to make them all this summer anyway, but I'm short on time. So the Isla dress, the only thing I have is, as I've just discussed, that I don't love a dolman sleeve. It has a dolman sleeve. Certainly not as much volume, but it is a dolman or a grown-on sleeve. So I'm not sure about that, and I don't really have time to do a fit test. And then the third option is the Pattern Emporium Field of Dreams dress, and I would make that one with this fabric. I could make the Isla dress with either one. Honestly, I could make either pattern, any of those three patterns with either of these fabrics. There's a number of combinations there that would work just fine, but I'm sort of in between using this one and the Gilbert top or Isla dress, or this one and the Field of Dreams dress. And I would do, it has a straight across neckline with straps and then a tiered skirt. And so it could be scorching hot that day, or it could be muggy and wet, or it could be cold. So I need to be able to layer, and we will be inside, but I'm sure we'll be outside for certain points. And I just want to feel relaxed, and I want to feel good in what I'm wearing, and actually just want to know that I look good so I don't have to worry about it while I'm giving a eulogy and talking to friends and family, that sort of thing. So those are my options. What do you think? Which one should I make? I don't know. I think they both, like, all of the dress options are going to be great. And that's the fun thing about sewing, which is also one of the things I get stuck on, is like, well, what am I going to make? Which one? What am I going to do? Anyway, I do think this is beautiful with all the bright colors. Like, it's so summery. And they have this fabric at Fabricland still, and Fabricville online, with a white background and a black background. So if you want it, hop on it. I'd say get in there. And they have this at Rick Rack the last time I was in the store, and they had it on a hot pink and a teal as well with the little hearts, and I think it's very sweet. So let me know your thoughts. The other project that I'm working on right now is a Jara sweatshirt from Megan Nielsen. So I made two Jara sweatshirts back in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic, when I was looking for something to throw on when I was at home all the time. And they don't fit me anymore because I'm 2 sizes larger than I was at the beginning of the pandemic. And that is in some ways frustrating because all of those clothes that I made don't fit. And in other ways, it's been a hard 2 years. So I want to make another one. I need to adjust the sleeve. So it has those drop shoulder sleeves, and I need to adjust the sleeve to make it wider. And I have a really pretty striped cornflower blue and white striped French terry that I'm going to use to make that one. And I'm looking for like a little embroidered patch from Etsy to iron or sew onto it. And I think I have one picked out, but I'll let you know when it gets here. So I'd like to make that because I'd like to have something to put on, you know, when I'm running around, it's a little bit chilly. Summer here can be unpredictable. We just had a massive amount of rain. We were under a state of local emergency. We thought we was going to flood. It didn't. The river banks weren't breached, but the potential was there. So it's a bit gray and overcast today. But I also know that it could be really hot. But a good sweatshirt. I always have another sweatshirt, I think. So something else I want to do is I want to make a couple things for my kids. So in my next video that I will be sharing with you is a dress that I made for my daughter. That's a pattern test, so I can't share it right now, but a dress I made for my daughter, and I had such joy in making it that I'd love to make her something else. And I'd also love to make a camp style shirt similar to the Gilbert shirt for my son, who's going to be 4. So he is turning 4 next week, and he loves to wear button-up shirts, and he calls them picnic shirts. And he always wants to wear his picnic shirts. So I'd like to make some for him in, you know, quilting cotton there's so many beautiful and fun prints. I'd like to take him to the fabric store and have him pick out the fabric. I'd like to take him to the fabric store and have him pick out the fabric to make for it. Often when I'm driving my kids places and they're misbehaving in the back seat, I will slow the car down and I'll say, do you want to go to the fabric store? And then they behave. So I am familiar with that tactic because my parents used it on me and my brother. But anyway, I'm not sure he'll be thrilled to go to the fabric store to pick out the fabric, but maybe he'll be thrilled with the picnic shirt when he's out. And I did find a pattern on Etsy for a camp style or Hawaiian style shirt. But if you've made one for little boys and have a recommendation, let me know. I haven't bought the pattern yet, so I'd love to see it. And yeah, I also, you know, would just like to make some more clothes for my kids. Like, they love what I have made for them, and it was such a joyous process to make them. So I'd like to do that a little bit more. And I think that the small projects, you know, it's about what I have time and space for right now. It is our peak season at my office. I'm about to head into the summer, which is the total opposite. So I work for the school system, and as soon as school ends, then for me, I'm still working. I work through the summer, but it's not as busy. So in the summertime, I will have more time to meander and work on projects and dream and plan a little bit. But right now, I just need to get through the rest of the month and hopefully come out the other side with a few new to me garments and something I can wear to relax in. So anyway, it's been great to catch up with you. Let me know how you're doing. I hope that I see you soon, and I hope that you are sewing something fabulous. I'll talk to you soon.